What is this? Hello. So this is a library. I live in a small apartment. My name is Radu. I'm a very small professor of very small decisions. I live in France. Petit professeur, de petite décision. And I started the video with this book because this book inspires me. I read from this book almost every day. And I have many other books here. There is many opinions here. Sometimes I feel inspired by images like this. There is many religions here represented and many ideas, okay? Sometimes I watch YouTube, sometimes I use a laptop. And you see here on this laptop, there is maybe a childish thing signed for you, but this sign wants to remind me of something very important, which is love. And I live in France, and it's very difficult for people. I am from Romania, a small village in the world, in the global family. But it's a lovely country with kind people. And I'm inspired by the Queen of Romania, Margareta, who is not the ruler of our country, politically speaking, but she has worked to help the refugees from this war, because we live in Europe. In the north of Romania has a border with Ukraine. And I don't want this conversation or my message to be about war and politics, but sadly, I'm also affected by it. And I'm not important. I'm a very small dust in this huge universe. But you, my audience, if you have patience to listen to me and think about what I'm saying, and you kind friends of mine from Kenya, a wonderful country where people have a different skin color than me, but they have the same heart. The blood is red. The blood of humans in Kenya is red. The blood of humans in Russia is red. The blood of humans in Ukraine is red as well. And so much blood now is shared. Unfortunately, not to help somebody who's sick in a hospital, but unfortunately, people are losing their lives. And of course, we know, everybody knows, you can see on television, you can see on the internet, you can see on this mobile phone, so much these videos, and people are confused. I think my impression is the young generation who are soldiers in this war have this impression, and some people on the television, journalists, you know, lots of people, maybe even rulers, they have the impression that this is about like a video game, like a sport combat. And it's not true. War is terrible. So, my dear friends of Kenya, which are usually the ones who are watching me, and other friends from other countries around the world, I'm single. I'm not happy about it, but one thing that I'm doing to maybe have a family one day is I'm learning to have a shiny, shiny kitchen. This is a shiny kitchen. My kitchen is very small, a humble kitchen, but I'm trying to keep my kitchen in order. I'm trying to keep, because kitchen is an important part, and it doesn't matter if I'm a man. It doesn't matter if I'm a man. Even if I was married, I would still get involved in the kitchen, because I think today, in 2023, a gentleman, a person who cares about his family, and I hope I will have a family in the future, should get involved in the kitchen, should also help clean the house, you know, should be having a nice, clean bathroom, you know, even wash by hands. I sometimes wash by hands to save water for this planet, okay? So, even cleaning the toilet, if you want, I can show you. I have a clean toilet. My toilet is clean, okay? So, I'm showing you these things. I'm trying to keep the house in some order. I'm not perfect. I am an intellectual person also. I was an IT expert for many years. I spend my time in the digital too much, and then I realize we live in a very difficult world for the mind, and that makes us to have difficulties in making decisions. And the problem with this war is that spreads fear all around the world and affects people in real life. Like now, people in Africa, I'm sure probably in Kenya, Somalia, will have less access to food, like the French say blé, no? Like the, how do you call this? The one that you make chapati, like for the bread, right? Flour. And this is very sad because it's not the fault of Kenyans and Somali. There is a war in Ukraine. It's not their fault. There was no Kenyan and no Somali who went there to create the war. There was no Romanian, really. I don't know if there is any Romanian from my city, Timișoara, a very peaceful city, the capital of culture in Europe, who went to Ukraine to create this war. But in social media, we all participate somehow. So here's my suggestion and my humble question. Please, 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 and thank you. Dear audience, Kenyans, Tanzanians, Ugandans, young people, you know social media. You like to make short videos. You like to make messages. You like to spread about your ideas, which are many times very important for the future, for the whole planet, maybe. You want to invent things. There's going to be 14th of February, right? So it's the Valentine's Day. I'm single. Maybe someone will come and say prayers in this house with me. Maybe a lady. I like someone from Kenya who lives here in this Grenoble. A teacher, very smart, who has to struggle with 3 kids to raise them. And life is more difficult now in France. Things are more expensive. But anyway, maybe we're going to say prayers. But you're going to see in the photo of the background of this message that actually I do have made one prayer for peace with her in a church. So I pray that you, the audience, young people, women and men, will make a short video, your message, your idea, how you want to say it, and ask, implore the women of Russia and the women of Ukraine to try to pray and ask, implore their leaders. And I'm imploring myself now, the leaders. Please, President Putin, please, President Zelensky, dear humans, you are still humans no matter what you're thinking and what you have done as leaders. The presidents of countries should try to make peace as well as keep their people alive. It doesn't matter where the border is. Please, I know you love your culture so much and what you have built there, both countries. I know you in Russia, you are afraid, you leaders, military leaders. I know you are all afraid of energy problems. I know you are afraid for your families, for your kids, for your own life. But it's not a solution to continue this war. So I have a suggestion. Maybe you cannot find a peaceful agreement. Maybe you don't know how to make negotiations. It's okay. Here's my suggestion. Try, please. I'm a humble professor, but I travel in 22 countries. Please, for the love for humans, for the love for the future generations, show an example, please. President Putin and President Zelensky. What I ask you is allow the women of Russia and the women of Ukraine for one day to be able to speak with their soldiers and have peace. One day, just one day, please, Valentine's Day, so they can talk about love, about their families. They don't know if they will survive this war, but they can speak one day, okay? And then maybe if you can do that and say one day there is no war, one day, Valentine's Day, maybe then again for the Day of the Women, 8th of March, try in the name of the women which are the mothers. President Zelensky, you had the mother who kept you in the belly. It was much more difficult than managing all these weapons that you are asking for. And President Putin, you have too many weapons, but your mother kept you in her belly. Your mother kept you 9 months in the belly. Your mother, President Putin, your mother, President Zelensky, my mother, made so many efforts to keep us alive here in the womb. Think about the children of the future. Even if it's so difficult for you to find peace, I have a suggestion. Ask the Queen of Romania, who helped so many children for 30 years in Romania, Margareta, and the Prince Radu, which are a good couple together. Ask the President of Kenya, Mr. Ruto, and his wife, Mama Ruto, Rachel, I think she's called. Please, ask them, ask Chimamanda Adichie Ngozi, writer from Nigeria, important, intelligent lady, for peace. And also maybe Angela Merkel, whoever you trust. Women, ask them to come for conversation for 8th of March, another day of peace. 2 days of peace. Valentine's Day, 14th of February, and 8th of March, 2 days of peace. Please, please, please. My friends in Kenya who see my video, and other friends around the world, anybody who can see and understand English, make in your own language. Ask, implore the women of Ukraine and the women of Russia to ask and implore their leaders, the generals, the presidents of these countries, to one day give peace a chance. 14th of Valentine's Day. Please, I will pray that many young people have this courage to share a social media message. Please, this is not propaganda. I'm not with Russians. I'm not with Ukrainians. I believe peace is so good anyway. Try to make it faster, please. And try first of 14th of Valentine's Day. And see what happens, how people feel. See how you feel. You feel doing this message. And see, please, President Ruto, please, our Queen Margareta, regina noastră a României, vă implor, vă rog, trimiteți un mesaj de pace împreună cu soțul dumneavoastră, încurajând, please, encourage with your husband, Prince Radu, the presidents of Ukraine and Russia, one day of peace. But you, social media, who see me, no matter who you are, 3, 4, doesn't matter, tell others and make your own message. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to influence people. I just hope I can inspire. This is a book of peace. This is a book to help people be more united in the world in the future, in diversity, to respect the culture of Russia and the culture of Ukraine and the human lives. You can try one day of peace, Valentine's Day, to respect love between a man and a woman. That are the ones who create the next generation children. Thank you so much. I wish for you, Mr. Zelensky, love between you and your wife for Valentine's Day. Have one day of thinking about love and peace with your wife. Mr. President Putin, think about your wife or your partner, life partner. Have a one day of peace. And all the people who are watching this on 14th of Valentine, with your loved ones, pray for peace and encourage and pray that the Ukrainian and the Russian women will have the chance to speak with their husbands who are now in the war. And if you feel that's good, let's do it again for 8th of March, International Day of Women, because women and children are suffering the most in this war in Russia and Ukraine and in other countries in Africa because of the other problems. And they also suffer in Europe because of every problem that the war comes. So war is not a sport combat. Please. War is not sport combat. Peace is much better always than war. Please. One day of peace. Thank you. Inspired by this book. Thank you.